Alright people, gotta do the video all over again because my SD card fucked up on me. Today's NFL video is going to be called Dare Prescott versus Dare Carr, the Dallas Cowboys versus the Oakland LA Raiders. Which football team wins a Super Bowl by the year 2020? So this is going to be a different type of football video altogether. And I'm doing it all over again because my camera cut off on my ass when I was making this video. So I'm doing it over again. Alright, here we got two football teams that have championship history. The Dallas Cowboys won 5 championships, 5 Super Bowls. The Oakland Raiders won 3 championships, 3 Super Bowls. Both franchises were here doing, if they weren't here in the beginning of the formation of the NFL, they have been around certainly for the last 50 years. They've been in the NFL. Both teams have won in the playoffs. Both teams lost in the playoffs. Both teams have superstar quarterbacks. And both teams are winning football games in the current time period that we're in, which is 2018. And people want to ask that old age question, which football team is going to win a Super Bowl by the year 2020? So we're going to talk about which team that's going to do it. Let's start with the Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? You Dallas Cowboy haters. Now here for a long time in Dallas, Texas, we've had a quarterback by the name of Tony Romo, that for about 12 years in the NFL, he would take this football team to the playoffs. They would win, and then they would lose. I mean, seriously, this team would always get to the playoffs, and they would always lose. And he fell in love with Jessica Simpson, and then they blamed her for why the Dallas Cowboys can't win football games. And then we got Terrell Owens, and then, you know, we really weren't winning any football games. And then, you know, Jerry Jones got tired of his team losing. You know, it was bye-bye Terrell Owens, and then, you know, we had some more mishaps. And then finally, after, 11 or 12 years later, we get into the 2012-2013 NFL Draft. And what do we get? We get a young African-American black man that becomes a quarterback, a backup quarterback nevertheless. And he takes the spot of Tony Romo. And it's unfortunate that it actually took that for the Dallas Cowboys to win football games. All of a sudden they won 2 games, 3 games, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Before you know it, the Dallas Cowboys won 10 games. And everybody knows that the Dallas Cowboys got cheated the last 2 or 3 years while trying to make it into the playoffs. You know, and 3 years later, they confirmed that the ball that Desmond Bryant caught was actually a touchdown. Which is funny to me that 3 years later, you finally admit that, yeah, it was a touchdown against the Green Bay Packers. And we all know that they cheated the Dallas Cowboys. Because they're player haters. They're haters like that. They just don't want to see this team return back to greatness. They don't want to see this team return back to its glory, its dominance. You know, they're haters like that. They may never say it and they may never admit it, but that's why they cheated the Dallas Cowboys. Now, this team has won 5 championships, 5 Super Bowls, and this team is real. It's legit. On the other hand, we have the Oakland, or call them the LA Raiders. They've won 3 championships, 3 Super Bowls, and they've had their share of misfortune. For about 10 to 11 years in the NFL, they would hire coaches, fire coaches. Hire coaches, fire coaches. Back when Al Davis was the owner of the Oakland Raiders football team. Now the son is the new owner of the Oakland Raiders football team. And this team had its share of ups and downs. They would get good players, they would trade players. get good players, trade players. And they too started winning football games. All of a sudden, Oakland Raiders started winning 2 games, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 games. All of a sudden, they won 10 games. And the same thing happened with Oakland. The past 2 or 3 years, they too would cheat the Oakland Raiders out of an opportunity to make it into the playoffs. Now that both football teams are winning currently in 2018, getting ready for the 2018 NFL season, we got to ask ourselves that old age question: which football team is going to win a Super Bowl by the year 2020? Is it the Dallas Cowboys, or is it going to be the Oakland Raiders? Now, here's the thing. Some might say the real answer should actually be the Oakland Raiders, because they're going to move to Las Vegas, right? Here's my problem with that. When it comes to business and economic-wise, it's good to move the football team to Las Vegas. But if you got a young superstar quarterback named Carr of the Oakland Raiders, and you change the name from Oakland to the Las Vegas Raiders, it's going to cause a distraction, because there's alcohol, there's drugs, there's prostitution. You know, prostitution is legal in Las Vegas. And that's going to distract your young superstar quarterback from being focused on winning football games, trying to make it to the playoffs in pursuit of winning a championship in the Super Bowl. While on the other hand, we have the Dallas Cowboys, who also has a young up-and-coming quarterback that's young, that's hungry, that's fresh, and he wants his slice of apple pie. And if I had to pick a football team that I thought was destined to win by the year 2020, I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, they got strong offense, strong defense. They are winning football games. They've done it for the past 3 years. Now, if they can just win consistent-wise, they've got a shot. Now, I know Stephen A. Smith might say this football team is an accident just waiting to happen. Yeah, but I'd rather take the Dallas Cowboys over the Raiders, because if you move the Raiders to Las Vegas in 2020, look how many distractions that's going to cause your football team. And you see, when people ask which quarterback's better, I would say we all know for a fact that if they didn't cheat the Dallas Cowboys against the Green Bay Packers, he would have probably went to the second game, probably lose in the third round, and probably lost on his way to a Super Bowl. Why the other quarterback for the Oakland Raiders, Carr, he got injured last season. Had he not got injured, the Oakland Raiders would have made it to the playoffs 2 years in a row. So these football teams are in their primes again. Both these teams have been resurrected. They're back. And I believe that these football teams are going to be the 2 dominant teams in the next 10 years. Expect Dallas Cowboys to dominate in the next 10 years. Expect the Raiders to dominate in the next 10 years. You know, football teams that we're talking about right now currently, you know, those teams are not going to be dominant much longer. Once Green Bay Packers lose their quarterback star and they got to start all over again, and same thing with other franchise football teams, these will be the talk of the teams. Raiders and Cowboys will be the main 2 teams that'll be the talk of the town. Now, I know some people are going to say, what about the Panthers and the other football teams? And by the way, just so you know, Randy Moss has been on both these football teams. Randy Moss has played for the Dallas Cowboys. He's played for the Raiders. He's been with the 49ers. He's been with the Patriots. He's been with the Minnesota Vikings. Randy Moss has been on a lot of football teams. And in a future YouTube video, I'm going to talk about Randy Moss. And then later I'm going to make another video about why the Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers have not actually won a Super Bowl, and why they have all the problems they got. And then, of course, I'm going to make a video that's not related to this. It's going to involve something else. So I might take a break for about 2 days, and then Friday I'll be back making more NFL videos. Until then, peace.